Have you ever just watched a movie and been in complete awe of it? Every time I watch this now, I'm in complete and utter jealousy and envy about how perfect every frame breathes with life, happiness, disappointment, annoyance, friendship, pride, and prejudice. Okay, I said it. Let's move on. So let's talk about how director Joe Wright tells the story of Pride and Prejudice visually. We'll talk about his use of Oners and long takes, his use of framing and blocking, and his use of zooms, and how he combines all these elements together for the most powerful moments of this film. Alright, so let's start with Oners. Joe Wright's use of Oners is specifically to put you in the world. What these Oners do really well is that they get you to learn new information. So they aren't just a Oner for Oner's sake. You learn something new about the characters, their wants, their behavior, and you come across information that'll further the plot. Let's take a look at this Oner and see some of the key moments in them. Here you learn that Mr. Bennet wants to avoid embarrassment and just wants peace. Here we see Mr. Collins seeking Lizzie out. Then we go to Mr. Bingley and Jane's relationship and how it's developing. Then we tilt down to Mr. Bingley's hand so we can tilt back up from Mrs. Bennet's feet to here.
We fully expect a most advantageous marriage,
Which Mr. Darcy overhears. We see Mr. Collins, but then Kitty and Lydia come in with their obnoxious manner. Then we come to Lizzie and Charlotte for these important lines that will be the basis of Jane and Bingley's drama.
How can expose themselves to the most ridicule?
Well, at least Bingley has not noticed.
No. I think he likes her very much.
But does she like him? There are few of us who are secure enough to be really in love without proper encouragement. Bingley likes her enormously, but might not do more if she does not help him on.
But she's just shy and modest. If he cannot perceive her regard, he is a fool.
We are all fools in love. He does not know her character as we do. She should move fast, snap him up. There is plenty of time for us to get to know them after marriage.
This line here is to reinforce the class dynamic.
someone's going to produce a piglet and make us chase it.
A little bit of comedy relief here. Can we talk about how great Brenda Blethyn is here?
Forgive me.
Then we kind of see a pathetic moment with Mr. Collins. Here's where he comes up with the idea of proposing with a flower. Then we come to a very sad moment with the underappreciated Mary. Most importantly, they end on Lizzie, reminding you that this story is for the most part from her perspective, her POV. Illustrated perfectly towards the end of the first Oner, Lizzie is looking through a window at her parents talking. It's a very limited view of what you can see and hear. You're seeing through her window. Alright, so let's talk about blocking and framing. There's so much I want to talk about here, and maybe I'll talk about individual scenes in the future, but so much of the blocking and framing is here to serve the internal emotions of the characters. Like here, it shows the way Darcy feels in a room with the idea of the woman he's supposed to be with, according to class, and the woman he wants to fall in love with both literally crossing the back of his mind. As Darcy begins to be pushed further and further away, you can see the mirror of that shot here, where Darcy is falling more and more in love with her, strictly from the blocking and framing alone. After Darcy's big reveal that he wants to marry her, here he comes into the background, out of focus, showing that Lizzie is dealing with the confusion of her emotions. Ah, so good. Okay, zooms. But first, we need to talk about words. This movie pays special attention to words, the things people say, the letters written to each other, and no one loves words more than Lizzie Bennet. The very first shot of her, we see her reading. She values words.
Upon my word, you give your opinion very decidedly for so young a person.
Which is why zooms are so important. The zooms in and out are used to express longing and desire, or the things unsaid. They long to say what they really want to say. We can see that in the shot here, where Mr. Collins is trying to appeal to the Bennet sisters because he intends to marry one of them. Or here when Lizzie rejects Mr. Collins, but we do a slow zoom to Mary because Mary is in love with Mr. Collins. Here, Darcy enters the room and we zoom up to his face because he's here to say something, he just doesn't know how to say it. Here, Lizzie is saying she doesn't want to go to Pemberley, but deep inside she wants to see Darcy. Now we come to it at last. How Joe Wright combines all these elements to create some of the most powerful moments in the movie. The first moment comes after Darcy says this.
Her sister Elizabeth is very agreeable.
Perfectly tolerable, I dare say. Not handsome enough to tempt me.
And then Lizzie says,
To encourage affection.
Dancing. Even if one's partner is barely tolerable.
Lizzie's clapback is important for many reasons. 1, Darcy realizes she's not what he expected. Someone who says what's on her mind. 2, it enforces that words are her strength, where she's most powerful. Look how large she is in frame here. Her pride was hurt from that comment, so here she is, powerful, reclaiming that pride. The opposite is mirrored here, when she learns the truth that her prejudice against Darcy was in fact not founded in fact.
At which point he declared passionate love for my sister, whom he tried to
Which brings me to the most powerful shot of this film. Also, I absolutely love that these two shots mirror the opening shots of the movie. Remember that zooms were the language of the unsaid, but here we throw all of that out. There is no zoom because Darcy isn't hiding. He walks all the way up until he's close in frame. This is a big moment for him. It drips with, "I'm here for you." These last zooms are her decision. Does she finally say what's on her mind? And I suppose we all know. Oh, you know.
Well then.
Just watch.
Your hands are cold.
So the next time you're making a film, think about how you can use zooms to illustrate different emotions. Think about how these elements can be used to create different effects. Think about what your film is saying and how it's communicating your ideas to the audience. Above all, think about your audience. What's your favorite part of Pride and Prejudice? Tell me below. Like and subscribe, I guess. I don't know.
Stop doing
Smash that like button.
I don't know.
Smash it. Smash the like button.
That like button.
Smash that. God damn it. This is all staying in. Goodbye.
If you